For those of you that are over 50 and you want to learn how to lose weight or just start a little mini cut, well, you want to follow me on this blog because I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my food, my water intake, and my training. So if you're ready for that, here we go. Okay, so we're starting today, and I want to give you guys just where I'm at and why I'm doing this little mini cut. Just another way of changing some things up, challenge myself, see how I can react or how my body reacts to certain foods as we go along. And I'm not doing anything super drastic. I'm not going to do stage prep or anything of that nature. I'm really going to look for just getting ready for the late spring, summer. So I'm going to do this really slowly over several weeks. I'm looking maybe to do between 10 and 15 pounds. So nothing too drastic. Again, just trying to trim up, slim up. I'm not going to be losing a ton of energy at the end. Like I said, I'm not getting ready this is not a mini prep, so to speak, getting ready for stage or anything like that. This is really just a challenge to myself and a way for me to experiment with different foods in my meal plan. I'm off the, off-season plan or what have you. So I'm just slowly changing up the numbers, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do again with my training, with my food, my water intake, just to kind of show you how I'm experimenting with different things and changing different things and fine-tuning different things. And that's why I feel like it's so important to track everything. So when you want to do something like this, if you're just trying to just lose weight in general, gain weight, or a mini cut like I'm fixing to start, or I am starting. This is actually my first week. Just so you can fine tune things easier to see how your body's reacting with certain foods and what have you. So that being said, I'm at 179, and again, I'm sorry, I did not film me on the scale, so take my word for it. Week one, I'm starting at 179 pounds. I do not know what my body fat percentage is at this moment. I don't really care. I just want to go by how I look, how I feel, and that sort of thing. So, of course, we have to show you, what I actually look like, and I'm going to take off my mic. Okay, so, mic, sorry. So this is what I'm looking like now. Again, I'm just starting week one. Little bit of abs showing, not a ton, not a lot of vascularity, just a little bit. Again, if I'm not holding my mic just right, I usually have it on me somewhere. Now there's nowhere to clip it on. So I just want to show you guys what I'm looking like, just unflexed, just natural. I'm not super lean, but a little bit lean. I don't try to carry too much body fat during the off season. But again, I'm only looking to do that's why I'm calling this a mini cut, about 10 to 15 pounds. Just like I said, a cut up, bring in my abs a little bit more, shrink my waist just a little bit, and just play with some different foods to see how my body reacts to try to lose a little bit of the body fat, just to, like I said, trim up a little, get a little bit more vascular. And then again, after I get to a certain point of between 10 and 15, I'll have it decided exactly where in that 10 to 15 range I'm going to be. But once I get to that point where I feel like I'm looking good, have lots of energy, I'm not losing tons of energy, and then I'll slowly, go back and add food and start going back into not an off-season mode, but just adding more calories, adding more fats, that sort of thing, carbs. So this is where I'm at. And got to start somewhere. So I want to show you guys just live what I look like now, ab-wise, vascularity-wise, and going from here. Okay, so again, this is the over 50 age range as far as doing this whole plan. So those that don't know, I am 51, and I don't really talk about my age too much because age is just a number, right? So, well, gotta get my glasses so I can see. Maybe for those that are over 50, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know what's going on with the eyesight, but progressives, baby, progressives. Let us get into the MyFitnessPal. So we're gonna start with food because food is so important. You gotta stay consistent. And if you haven't seen my other videos, and if you don't know, which the number one thing to do any kind of, or anything really, if you're not consistent with it, you know, it's just not gonna happen. So you gotta be consistent. So I use MyFitnessPal. If you guys, you can write it down, you can use whatever you want, but for this journey, I am going to show you guys MyFitnessPal, and as I'm talking here and I'm talking about what I'm doing and where I'm at food-wise, I'll try to do some screen recording so then you can see what I'm talking about and what that looks like. So if you're not familiar with MyFitnessPal, then you at least know what it looks like, and hopefully you go try it yourself. I'm not affiliated with them. I have no affiliate links. Maybe someday, I don't know. But I use MyFitnessPal, the pro version, and it works really well because I'm always creating recipes. So along with this blog, guys, I'll probably show here, or somewhere on the screen, some other recipes because I believe trying different foods that can fit into your meal plan is super important, so you're not always eating the same thing, but you do need to eat some of the same things over and over to make sure you have the right amount of proteins, carbs, fats, all that kind of stuff. So I was at about 2,300 calories, 2,350 or so, I think, before I started this plan. So just to tell you guys now where I'm at, I am at 2,058 calories for my weekdays. Now, I still highly encourage a cheat day, not really a cheat meal. You could do cheat meal. I've done that in the past too. Cheat day, and what I mean by that is, so 2,058 is my calories for the day on my weekdays. I have 205 grams of protein, 62 grams of fat, and 170 grams of carbs. Now, this is for me. I am not a nutritionist by any means. So everyone is different. Everyone's starting point is different. Everyone burns calories a different way. So this is what I'm currently doing for me. So this may not exactly work for you, but you can kind of take this and maybe use it as a guide to manipulate the numbers that works best for you and your plan or your body type. So just know that. So this is my weekday, and then let me go to my Friday because those are where my macros are different. So instead of 2,000, I have 2,437 calories on Friday alone. So I can spend those however way I want. That's my cheat day, not cheat meal. So with that being said, the numbers kind of flip-flop a little bit. So before it was mostly all protein, less carbs during my weekday. Now it's the opposite. So for Friday, it's 165 grams of protein, 73 grams of fat, and 280 grams of carbs. So I can manipulate the day how I want, but again, it's a lot more carbs and protein that day and a little bit more fat. So you can do your cheat day however way you want. This is the way I'm doing mine. And so we had our first week this last week. So Friday, for instance, we normally go out and get regular pizza or whatever for our cheat day for our dinner. Me and my wife do a date night every Friday night. Well, we didn't do that. It's because now that we're on a mini cut, like I said, this is week one, we made our own little personal pizza so we can control all the ingredients. And so you're just gonna have to do stuff like that. Again, we're challenging ourselves. We're not getting on stage at this moment. We're just wanting to fine tune. I think we're gonna do a photo shoot maybe, and we'll show you guys later in the blog or in some future posts or videos. But we're gonna do a nice little video photo shoot later between the two of us together doing something kind of fun. But anyway, we're working on that, on all the ideas. If you guys have cool couple ideas for fitness photo shoots, let me know in the comments down below because we're always trying to come up with something cool and crazy and different. So that's the whole purpose of this, right? Besides trying to look good, right? So let me go back. So now for today, for instance, let's go yesterday. Let's go Thursday because Thursday I completed Thursday. So what I try to do is, and again, you probably won't see this. I'll put it in the video. I'll do a screenshot of this or a little video of the screenshot in here as I'm talking so you can see what I'm talking about. This is Thursday because Fridays the macros are different. I try to end off on each of the categories within plus or minus 8 grams. So it's really, really close. I'm not trying to be totally exact. End off with 0, 0, zeros in all the carbs, fats, and proteins. but I'm trying to be as close as I can, plus or minus 8 grams. Again, I'm not getting on stage, so don't knock me in the comments. Man, you got to be right on, you know, everything is so precise. It is when you're getting on stage. I'm not getting on stage. So I'm just trying to improve my physique and my look in a mini cut. So just to give you an example of Thursday, since it's already complete, the morning meal, and I do 5 meals. The morning meal, I did 638 calories total. So I used 47 grams of protein, 21.5 grams of fat, and 68 grams of carbs. And I do the most of carbs in the first couple meals because I want to save, I work out early in the morning. So this all goes around if you work out early, mid-afternoon, late. I work out early in the morning. So I'm a 5:15 workout guy. Every morning at 5:15, not every morning. I take Thursdays and Sundays off the gym from training. I do cardio on Thursdays, but and speaking of cardio, in my training program, which is probably something, I'll mention that later in the training part. But for food, let's get back to, I try to do carbs mostly early in my first 3 meals, and the last 2 meals, I've really taken a lot of those carbs away where it's mostly all protein, very little fat. So it just makes things easier to digest, and I need most of my energy early part of the day and not later on the part of the day. Again, this is for me, and this may be different for you guys. So depending on what your plan is or your work schedule or your training schedule, that may change. So for me, because I work out super early, I love to work out early. I get up at 4 o'clock every morning. I'm eating the most of my carbs typically within an hour after my training, and then an hour and a half later, I'm eating meal number 2. So meal number 1, here's what I'm having. I'm having overnight oats typically, which is, you know, super awesome. If you have never seen or checked any of my overnight oats recipes, they're super easy to make. I'm always meal prepping overnight oats, so right here I'll post a video for you guys to click on. If you've never tried it, man, try it. Super awesome. The macros are great, and I'll mess around with the different yogurts. I typically stick with strawberry, or do blueberry, or I'll change fresh strawberries in it or fresh blueberries in it. Typically I'll alternate to those just to have some variances. But yeah, super awesome. I love my overnight oats. So easy to make, and I'll make 4 or 5 days worth at a time, so super easy to prep. So I'll have overnight oats, and then I'll do 138 grams of egg whites in an 8-inch pan, and I'll put that with 2 tablespoons, which is 30 grams of guacamole, and it makes it nice and awesome. And that's meal number 1. And so that is enough to get me for at least another hour, hour and a half. Again, I'm eating within an hour from my training session. So moving on to meal number 2. And again, if you were to ask me what my very, very favorite food item is to make, that I make in all my plan, it is meal number 2. It is my oatmeal chocolate chip brownie bites. And again, my wife gives me a hard time because I change the name of it all the time. But I'll post it right here as well. If you've never tried it, please try it. Now, one thing to note, if you do make it, you have to do the peanut butter on top. If you don't, it's good, it's okay. But adding the natural peanut butter on the top, it's like icing on the cake. It's so good. It's like dessert, but a healthy meal number 2. So meal number 2 is my oatmeal chocolate chip bites, and it's friggin' awesome. And again, you have to add the natural peanut butter on top. And that's got 402 calories, 18 grams of protein. So not a lot of protein because, again, I'm eating it like within an hour, hour and a half of meal number 1 because I'm adding more carbs because I just trained it in the morning. So 18 grams of protein, 19.4 grams of fat, 50.4 grams of carbs, lots of carbs. So those are my first 2 meals. Now, it's okay to eat some of the same things. So usually my first 3 or 4 meals, I'm eating the same thing with a small variance day after day after day, typically. Now I may change up a few things, but not a whole lot. Don't make it too complicated because meal prep can be really complicated if you're trying to change up your meals from meal to meal to meal to meal. You're gonna have some meals that are the same, and believe me, if you're trying to cut weight, if you're trying to do a mini cut or whatever, it's gonna make life so much easier. And just be okay with having a few of the same meals. You might change a few small things, some seasonings, some sauces, whatever. So meal number 3 is, and it's almost the same as I think, it's chicken breast and it's typically 7 or 8 ounces of chicken breast, and 2 rice cakes. That's it. And the 2 best rice cakes that I like that are really good are the Quaker Oat ones. I do the popcorn one, which, believe it or not, is actually the best on macros. And then I do the Everything Bagel one, which is my next favorite. So every once in a while I'll throw in a few of those others, but those are usually my top 2 I stick with. And that meal is only 290 calories, 51 grams of protein, again, higher on the protein, 3 grams of fat, and 14 grams of carbs. So you can see meal number 3, carbs have came down. So I'm gradually bringing carbs down as we go throughout the day. But it's a super good meal. Because protein is typically what fills you up anyway. And then again, I'm drinking lots of water throughout the day. I'm sometimes putting a little bit of Crystal Light in it, not too much, because I'm trying to stick with not putting a lot of artificial flavors. And I've done videos on this in the past. You know, you find other things to help you drink lots of water, whether it's using the flavored drinks, Circle. I've used that before. Again, I don't get anything for Circle, so I don't have any affiliate links with Circle, but that's one of my options I do. I do, like I said, put a little bit of Crystal Light in some of them. And then I treat myself usually once a day with a sugar-free root beer. Super awesome. It's kind of a treat. I don't know why it's a treat, but, and I'm not a big pop drinker. That's the only thing I'll drink in the afternoon. Usually I would do it with meal 3 or meal 4 just because I've been drinking water all day, and then the rest of the time I'm just drinking out of a gallon jug. So get lots of water because that'll help fill you as well when you eat a meal with high protein. Meal number 4. I usually repeat meal number 1, but like this instance, I did a carb balanced whole wheat tortilla. They make a big one and they make a small one. I've done both. I kind of like having the small one and leave the extra meat to eat separately aside. So I'll do a smaller one with 8 ounces of 100 or 99% ground turkey. And so I'll put 4 ounces in there, make it a nice stuff-filled tortilla. I wrap it up, eat that, and then I will have the ground turkey separate, the leftover ground turkey separate. I might put a little sugar-free barbecue sauce on there. Again, finding other things that don't have a ton of sugar in them or any sugar in it. So there's a lot of good alternatives. And then, like I said, for ground turkey and chicken, I love using the 9%, the fat-free barbecue sauce. So that meal is 330 calories, 59 grams of protein, again, high on the protein, 6.5 grams of fat, not a lot of fat, and only 18 grams of carbs. Are we seeing a trend here? Meals 3 and 4, lower carbs, lower fat, higher protein, because I don't need as much in the mid-afternoon going into my evening. So I go to bed early because I get up early. So again, this is depending on you guys. I get up at 4 o'clock to go train. So I'm usually looking to go to bed about 8 o'clock, 8:30 maybe, but 9 is way too late for us. So 7:30 to 8:30 is our bedtime. So we're looking to eat. So I try to eat my last meal 5:30. 6 at the very latest, but I usually like to try to go 5:30, and then if I feel like I'm hungry after that, I don't eat more, I just drink more. I just drink more water. I may have to get up one more extra time in the middle of the night, but hey, that's just what I do. So, and then the last meal I do, and I try to change up my last meal a little bit every single day, because that one I know I'm always home. The first 4 meals, I don't know about you guys, but I am usually not home till, I work a regular job. I may not be home till after 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So, but I know I'm home at least by 6 most nights, not every night. So I usually always do my last meal at home. So the rest of the meals, I know I'm out and about, I'm at work, I'm at the office, wherever. And so I try to plan, and that's why it's easier for me to put everything in containers and eat, on the go or whatever. I don't always get to warm things up. So I try to always make my last meal where I can kind of manipulate and change some stuff, cook things fresh, do a hodgepodge of stuff to meet my macros. So it makes it fun for me to find things. Now, if you want to plan every single meal and have your last meal waiting for you at home, that's great too. I don't always do that just to change things up because, again, you don't want to get so bored that you want to just cheat or binge. That's not the point. So the last meal, this was a kind of a hodgepodge, but not really. I love peanut butter, and I do natural peanut butter, so it's kind of my thing. And so this meal, I did 1 slice of Sara Lee original bread. I don't eat a lot of bread, but 1 slice of Sara Lee's original bread with 24 grams of natural peanut butter spread atop, and I'll just eat that. It's so good. It's kind of a treat too, I guess. I don't know. And then I'll do 230 grams of egg whites with 22.5, 23 grams of guacamole just to give some extra flavor to the eggs. And that's it. That meal is 386 calories, 34 grams of protein, 16 grams of fat, 26.8 grams of carbs. So all in all, the whole day was great. I don't know if you can see that, but I ended off with -7 on the carbs, -4 on the fat, -5 on the protein. So really within the numbers I'm looking for to end off the day. So there you have it. There is an example of meals of what I'm eating now with the amount of calories. Let's talk about some training. So training is not really changing because of a mini cut whatsoever. So what I'm currently doing is 6 days that the first 3 days of my training will be heavy, and then each week my reps change by 2, and then the last 3 days of the training regimen will be all supersets. So again, those will also change by 2 reps each week as well, but they're superset. So I'll train each body part typically twice. I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So that's how I do it, and then I just kind of repeat. And then Thursday, I typically do a different type of cardio, and then for speaking of cardio in the off season, I always do some cardio. I'll bike ride, but I'll do typically 2 days of light cardio, 20 minutes. And when people say light cardio, you're not like going nuts, pouring sweat, not that type of cardio. Typically I'm doing a gentle bike ride or the stationary bike or something like that. Nothing too crazy, but now on the mini cut, we're changing things up a little bit. It's still mild cardio, but we're going from 2 days to 3 days. And I'm doing 20 minutes. Again, it's not super crazy. I'm really trying to focus on my foods more than just my cardio to bring everything into place or trim things out. And then we may change as we go. Again, this is week 1. I'm just updating you guys on what I'm doing week after week. And we'll do a weigh-in, and I'll try to show a weigh-in so I can prove actually what my weight is next time. And I try to weigh 1 time a week, and I only do it on Monday mornings. And so I'm not one to weigh every single day. I want to focus on my training. I want to focus on my food. That's most important. And I know if I do those, then that will allow my weight to do what it's supposed to on the scale. So those of you that want to weigh every single day, more power to you. Not me. I play mind games. I used to do it. I used to weigh myself every day, and I would find myself changing up my meal plan on a daily basis because I was 2 pounds different yesterday than the day before, and so I'm going to adjust my, what I'm eating today or whatever. And no, you stick with the meal plan. You stick with the training every single day consistently, and then that will determine the weight at the end of the week. And so that's what works for me. You do you, I do me. So back to training, but that's my split, and I'll just show you guys real fast what I do. I track all I'm a big tracker. I track everything. I'm a numbers guy. I like to know, am I lifting more today than I did last time? If I go just by feel, I don't know if I'll progress as well if I didn't track anything. So I know I see a lot of you, most of you in the gym that don't track a single thing, and that's fine for you. I like to know. Man, this is a PR, baby. I did 50 pounds more than last time, or whatever. It's just a mental game to me, and so I want to know that I did 50 pounds last time, and I got to beat or at least do 50 pounds this time, whether it's more or less reps or whatever. So, so let me just give you an example of training. And I keep a super simple. I just use it on the calendar, and I write down, and I just copy paste, the workout, and then I'll change the weights, and I'll change the rest periods, and all those sort of things. So like today, for instance, today we did back and shoulders. And then right now I'm on a program that takes me through 6 weeks. And like I said, the first 3 days of that training program, I'll do heavy, between 4 reps to 8 reps. And then each week it's adding 2 reps, 2 reps, 2 reps, and then the last 3 days, doing supersets, and same thing. It's starting at high reps, 20 reps and 15 reps, and then each week, as it goes through, it's coming down. So don't do the same thing over and over and over. And so this particular workout I love because it's 6 weeks, and then it's going to repeat to do it again. But then you have what you did last time, so you can see how much weight you did, and then it's going to add 2 more reps or decrease 2 more reps. So things change all the time, which I love. I don't like doing the same thing over and over, and then obviously changing movements and stuff too. So I'll do usually 3 sets, 3 sets, 3 sets, 2 sets, 2 sets, shoulder press. Like for instance, I'm not going to bore you with, because there's so many different workouts out there. I want to just tell you what I did today. And then I may, next time talk about a different workout, because you can go find workouts and come up with your own workouts all day long. So just for me personally, I want to show you guys, and I will video screenshot this, whatever, for you, for those that actually want to see exactly what I did, and you'll see kind of how I write things out. So maybe that might help you, track or write yours out. So again, the purpose of this whole video is for anyone out there. I want to say the over 50 club, but for anyone really out there that's trying to lose weight or start their mini cut, maybe they'll take something from this. So first thing I did is 3 sets. And today is superset day, so shoulders and back. So we start off with shoulders. So we're doing a shoulder press, supersetted with a side lateral. Today we use the Strive lateral. And again, we did 8 reps on the shoulder press, and then we did 9 reps on the side lateral. So again, those were supersetted, 3 sets. Then the second superset we did, it had only 2 sets. And we did a different shoulder press, using a hammer strength shoulder press, but we supersetted that with rear delts, using 10 reps on the first one, 9 reps on the second one. Then the next exercise, we did 3 sets of rows, 8 reps on the rows. These were seated rows, supersetted with a pull-up. These were assisted pull-ups, and we did 10 of those. Now today, the pull-up machine was broke, so we didn't do pull-ups. We had to change that out. So we ended up doing the Life Fitness dual handle pull downs. So that was our superset. And then we actually got a different machine. So we did the Atlantis seated row. Again, I write everything down. So then I know, hey man, we had to alternate this because somebody was on it and we couldn't get on it. So we had to do something different. So I track it. You may not, but I do. All right, so the next one we did was 3 sets. We did Atlantis pull downs, supersetted with the Atlantis rows, but those were taken. So we did the Atlantis pull downs, supersetted with the new Atlantis T-bar rows. Again, those were 3 sets. We did 9 reps on the first one, 10 reps on the second one. And again, each week my reps will change. And then the very last thing we did was traps. So we did the Atlantis traps, 8 reps, supersetted with plate raises. Usually we do the cable raises, but again, all the cables were taken. So I had an alternate, I had it right in there. So we did 10 reps of slow plate raises for the trap. So anyway, guys, that's all I got on the training portion of it. Drinks, I mentioned, is water, lots of water. Track it somehow. I try to drink at least a gallon a day, and I just take a gallon jug. And then the food I talked about at the beginning, being consistent with it, key, being consistent with it. And I just want to show you guys and have some fun with my little blog, or whatever, however you want to call this, putting together my little mini cut. So again, I don't know how many weeks I'm going to do this for, but I'm looking at the 10 to 15 pound range and see how I'm looking, how I'm feeling, and show you guys my progress, and hopefully I can help someone out lose weight or go along with me on the mini cut as well. So until next time, guys, if you guys have questions, comments, leave them in the section down below, and we'll see you next week. See ya.